In 2003, something happened that hadn't occurred in over 1400 years of Islamic history. Two eclipses struck during Ramadan in the exact pattern predicted for the arrival of Imam Mahdi. And most people have no idea this even happened. But that's just one of 7 secret signs that Islamic scholars say are unfolding right now. Signs that point to something massive coming. For 1.8 billion Muslims worldwide, Imam Mahdi represents hope. He's the prophesied leader who will bring justice to a world drowning in corruption. But his arrival isn't random. Ancient Islamic texts describe specific signs that must happen first. Today, we're diving into the secret signs, the ones most people never hear about, the ones that might already be happening around us. Let's start with those eclipses I mentioned. Prophet Muhammad said there would be 2 eclipses during Ramadan before Mahdi's time, a lunar eclipse on the first night, a solar eclipse in the middle. This specific pattern never happened in Islamic history until 2003. But here's what makes it truly mysterious. Islamic astronomers calculated this wouldn't happen again for centuries. Yet it did. And some scholars point to unusual celestial events happening right now. Blood moons, rare planetary alignments, solar activity at unprecedented levels. These aren't random cosmic events. They're markers in time. Now let's talk about the 5 signs that most people never hear about. First, the rise and fall of someone called the Sufyani. Ancient texts describe him as a false leader who emerges from Syria. He gains massive power quickly, but his reign ends in exactly 8 months. Second, the emergence of the Yamani from Yemen. This figure supports truth and justice. He appears around the same time as the Sufyani. Third, a voice from the sky that everyone on earth will hear. The Hadith says this voice will speak in Arabic, but somehow every person will understand it in their own language. Fourth, the killing of a pure soul between Rukn and Maqam in Mecca. This innocent person's death becomes a turning point. It sparks global outrage. Fifth, an army gets swallowed by the earth while marching toward Mecca. The ground literally opens up and consumes them. These aren't symbolic events. Islamic scholars interpret them as literal occurrences. But the most disturbing signs involve society itself. The Prophet described a time when corruption reaches every corner of life, when lying becomes normal, when trust disappears between people, when children disobey parents openly, when leaders care only about power, when religious knowledge becomes rare. Look around today. Political corruption scandals dominate headlines. Social trust hits historic lows. Traditional values face constant attack. Wars erupt everywhere. From Ukraine to Gaza to conflicts most news outlets ignore. Islamic texts say these conditions must worsen before they improve. Society hits rock bottom before the Mahdi appears. Here's something most people don't know. The Mahdi doesn't just appear randomly. First, a herald dies in Mecca during Hajj season. This person's death creates massive upheaval in the Islamic world. Then, specific geographical events unfold. A fire appears in the sky over Damascus. An unusual wind blows across Iraq. These aren't metaphors. They're geographical markers that prepare the world for what's coming. The timeline matters too. These signs don't happen over decades. They unfold rapidly, one after another. So, where are we now? Many Islamic scholars believe several signs are already fulfilled. The social decay signs seem obvious to most observers. The celestial signs started appearing in 2003. Some argue they continue today. The geographical signs remain controversial. Different scholars interpret current Middle Eastern events differently. But here's what they agree on. The pace of fulfillment is accelerating. What took centuries before now happens in years. What took years now happens in months. Whether you believe these prophecies or not, the timeline they describe matches our rapidly changing world. These 7 secret signs paint a picture. Celestial events marking time. Social decay reaching peak levels. geographical markers appearing across the Middle East. The most compelling part isn't any single sign, it's how they connect together. Ancient texts describing modern realities with startling accuracy. Of course, only Allah knows when these events will truly unfold, but the signs deserve our attention. What do you think? Are these signs already happening around us? Or are we reading too much into current events? If this opened your eyes to prophecies you'd never heard before, subscribe for more deep dives into Islamic eschatology. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss what comes next. Because if these signs are real, understanding them might be the most important knowledge you can have.